Welcome back to Old School, New School Podcast, episode 53. Why don't you introduce yourself again?
I'm Scott, and I'm old school.
And I'm Chester, and I'm new school. Let's get into it.
Well, we are Packers fans.
Yes, we are.
Everybody knows that. So we should talk about the Packers.
Right.
How do you feel? Obviously, the injury stinks to Jordan Love.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? Quickly.
Okay.
Don't go too
Quickly,
long.
here are my thoughts. At least it's not an ACL, any kind of ACL injury. It's not a MCL tear. It's only an MCL sprain. Meaning it's not 10 weeks. It's only the 3 to 4 weeks. Those are my thoughts. I don't think the Packers will be very good in these couple of weeks that he's out. But maybe Malik Willis will prove us all wrong.
Okay. I blame Matt LaFleur.
How come?
It should have never gotten to that point. Granted, you can't do if this would have happened, this wouldn't have happened.
You can't make that
But
excuse.
Score 2 touchdowns on the first two.
Right, yes.
Come on. Stop with the field goals. It's just, it's unfortunate it happened so late in the game. And
it sucks. 6 seconds left.
It stinks. But be better. You have to be better.
Yeah, right. Again...
I think if they can eke out one win while he's gone, if he's only gone for 3 weeks, if they can be 1-3,
by the time he comes back, they'll be fine.
But if they're 0-4, 0-5 when he comes back,
then
it's gonna be a tough hill to climb.
One more thing,
yeah,
NFL, different games not in the U.S. Let's get some actual turf. I watched people play on a slip and slide on Friday, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And also the Packers need to clean up a little bit of the penalties. Other than that, I think that's all for the Packers.
Eagles do too. They had a lot of penalties.
Yeah, they had plenty of penalties.
And
the slipping is no excuse because it happened to both teams.
But for penalties, play your players and the player starters for a little bit in the preseason.
Yeah,
that's just stop.
Yeah.
Play across the board, teams looking bad. Okay. Next, let's move to the Chicago Bears and specifically Caleb Williams. Is he a bust?
Here's my thought. Is he a bust? No. I'm going to need a couple more games to really assess that. Because he has a good situation around him. It is not like he is in the Bryce Young situation, which we will talk about later. But I believe that with the amount of weapons you have, and granted, Keenan Allen... He has Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, and Cole Kmet, who's the tight end, all very solid players, none who are bad. And I believe that if you have those weapons, and I'm not sure what the Titans defense looks like, but I feel like against the Titans defense, which I've not heard much about, I don't think you should be struggling with 92 yards, 0 touchdowns, and less than 50% completion.
True. And also, after the game, Caleb Williams, don't celebrate like you won a Super Bowl. That was weird. I mean, yes, definitely give the guy. He is talented.
No, yeah, I'm not saying he's not talented, but I just think
he's in this. He was the number one pick. I mean, the number one pick doesn't always always pan out. But he's a talented kid. But without Will Levis totally self-imploding, the Titans win that game easily.
I saw something where the the head coach of the Titans said that when they were up 17-0 and they punted the ball on first down every time they got the ball, they would have won the game.
Probably. So yeah,
I think also Caleb Williams needs to realize it's not college. You can't run 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage and then make a bunch of defensive linemen miss because everyone in the NFL is just better.
Yeah. Yes. Everybody's faster.
Yeah.
Everybody's faster. The Bears, their defense, obviously, listen, they won the game. Credit to them. They came back. They were down big. Got a big, punt block return for a touchdown. They got the INT, pick six. But holy cow, Chicago's, if this is your savior, yikes.
I don't know.
So far,
I think
he might turn out great.
Yeah, right.
Let's give him some games.
I just think it's against a better team, you're not going to have the same result because
But
the defense isn't going to be able to stay out there the entire game.
But we heard this at USC too. Like,
Right.
he was 7-6 at USC.
Yeah,
like,
right, yeah.
Like, wasn't like, and granted, a lot different.
Yep.
But again, we'll see.
We will see.
First game, it's tough. But he's like slinging it like 15 feet over wide open receivers.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I'm sure he's
right. Yes,
like,
the rookie.
You're a pro, like
right. Yeah.
Okay, enough with that. Let's move on to we're doing a segment.
Yeah.
That good, that bad.
Yes.
These are going to be quick responses.
Yep.
Based on the games that were played, 3 games that were played.
Yep.
We're going to do quick responses on if the team that won is that good and if the team that lost is that bad. First game is Dallas Cowboys, are they that good? And the Cleveland Browns, are they that bad?
Well, my thought on this is that I do believe that the Cowboys are like a very good regular season team. But when they get to postseason, they usually crumble. So I do think they are quite good. They have their weapons. Next year they're not going to be able to afford everyone. Like you said, they'll only have DK. They'll have Micah Parsons.
Quickly. So answer the question: are they that good, or are they?
Yeah, they're good, and I think that the Browns, if they had Nick Chubb, they'd be all right. But right now they're bad because Deshaun Watson is not very good.
Deshaun Watson looked terrible.
Yeah.
Like the whole offense looked terrible.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on there. You hope it's not just one player being out, but they need a lot of work.
Right.
So I will say the Browns are that bad, and I will say that the Cowboys right now are that good.
Okay.
But this is what they do, as we know, as you mentioned. Okay, next game. New Orleans Saints, are they that good? And the Carolina Panthers, are they that bad?
Okay, they're both bad. I do not think the Saints are good, and I do not think the Carolina Panthers are good. And, he scored 47 points or whatever or 44, whatever it was, on a probably the worst team in the football.
Correct. I don't think the New Orleans is that good either. They might be good.
I'm not saying they're going to be terrible. I just think that...
Yeah, but they aren't bad, but I don't think they're that good. Carolina's a disaster.
Yeah.
Now, I said to go quick, but I do have... This is my one question for you.
My one question.
Because we've been talking about is Bryce Young a bust?
Okay.
You've been hearing it a lot.
Yeah.
It's his second year. This is when you want to see a young quarterback take a big jump, right? From that first year, and he didn't look good.
No.
You think that it could be possibly his situation?
Yes.
Here's my question. Ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
You're aware of the Packers situation.
Yes.
You put Bryce Young on the Packers. How does he do? With that receiver set?
Little bit worse than Jordan Love, but
sure.
I think he will do way better than he's doing in Carolina. 1,000%. Better head coach. Better, offensive coordinator. Better receiver set. Better everything. I just don't, I think half the problem is it's not his size. You like to say that his size is what limits him. I think it's just his situation. Terrible O-line. Probably the worst in football also. Terrible receivers. I name you one receiver, Adam Thielen. I don't even know if he's still on the team. I showed you a video of the Panthers playing football, and all of the offensive linemen just stand there. I just think, yes, I do think that he would be very fine and the Packers would be like a 9-win team.
I mean, it goes to a much larger question of, is the NFL in general based on how lucky you are as a quarterback where you get what
For
team
sure,
you
yeah.
get. Mahomes was gifted a really good offense and one of the best offensive coordinators in the history of football.
Right.
But he's still good. He's still very good. So, I don't know. You could say, yeah. It's a interesting. It's a much larger conversation.
Yes.
I think he. If Bryce Young was on the Packers for these games where Jordan Love was out,
I think he'd win all of them.
I would think I think he would beat the Indianapolis Colts, and I think he would beat the Tennessee Titans. And I also probably think he would beat the Minnesota Vikings with the arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Last one we have is, are the 49ers that good, and are the Jets that bad? Quickly, though.
This is what I'll say. Jets defense supposed to be amazing. Looked terrible.
Gave up 8 scoring drives in a row.
Yep. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey or not, the 49ers steamrolled them. What would have happened if they had Christian McCaffrey? Probably would have been worse. I think the 49ers are very good. I think the Jets are decent.
I think the 49ers are that good. I mean, they've shown before they're top of the NFC. They're definitely
can't win a Super Bowl.
But get it together, win the Super Bowl, then we'll all believe in you. The Jets, I don't know. That defense didn't look great. Granted, the 49ers can make you look really bad the way that they move people around. Like, not every team's going to be able to do that to the Jets.
Right.
I think Aaron Rodgers is who Aaron Rodgers is now. Everybody keep hearing like he's back, but it's the same thing we saw in his last couple of years with the Packers. His passes are behind receivers. I don't know the last time he hit a receiver in stride on a crossing pattern. Yeah. It's always behind and low, and I get it. He's fitting it in, but like you see other quarterbacks just put that thing right exactly where it's supposed to be. And this is an issue that he has had for a couple of years now where he is not. He's crazy. He can be super crazy accurate on some crazy back shoulder down the sideline. But some of the simplest throws
are just
look terrible.
Missed,
And I think that is just who he is as a quarterback now. Their defense, I expect, to be better. So they will win games.
Yes,
and
sure.
He will also win them some games. He is still good.
Yes.
But AFC is a tough road, and I don't see them making the playoffs.
Wow, that's a hot take.
There's a hot take. Yeah.
I think they'd win the playoffs just because their division isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
One thing, Jets. But again, as Packer fans, we saw this with him on the Packers. Run the play clock down to 0, call an audible on 3rd down and long to someone, run a go route and chuck it up and hope. I mean, he places it perfectly, but it's also like, it's not a high percentage conversion rate. You're not getting a conversion every time out of that. I think that's one problem. What's his name? Nathaniel Hackett, that's the offense coordinator. Run 1st down, run 2nd down, run 3rd down. I get that you don't want Aaron Rodgers to get injured behind that line again, but you can't run the ball every down and hope for, because that 49ers defense is very good.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's
I
get
think
out
that's
of here.
it. Yeah.
We're already long. How do we end up so long all the time? Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Look for us on TikTok.
Yeah,
Old School, New School Pod.
Yep.
We put up shorts there as well.
Yeah.
And so that's fun. So follow us on the Tick and the Talk.
Yeah. Okay. The profile picture is the Crusher. If you have any idea
Crusher
what
statue.
That is. Yes, the Crusher statue that's in Wisconsin. Yeah. If you have any idea what that is.
The Crusher rules. Da Crusher. And that's it. Thanks so much. Don't come at us in the comments.
Do not.
And have a great week.
Peace.
Peace.